We are live here on Monday, February 23rd, 2026. Blessings, everybody. I am your host, Lainey Savante Wolkin, better known as Savante, here to welcome you on this last day of February of 2026. I don't know where time is going, but it's going, and I'm grateful that you're here, either live or watching this later, or wherever and whenever you see this is the right time, and I am grateful. Denise is here. Welcome, Denise. Tonight is a great show. Every week is a great show, but I'm really excited to talk about the topic today of cutting cords and contracts and understanding really what that means with our guest who I'll have onto the show in a minute, Carolyn Fowler. But I don't know how your day was or how your days have been, but judging by the phone calls of people who have tuned in with me today, it's been a very interesting day and days. So I'm thinking this happens to be a timely topic. It certainly wasn't planned, but it feels like there are some energies amiss amongst us that are ready to be let go. Because in this fire horse, it's just so popularly discussed. I've never heard a year so popularly discussed as I've had everyone talking about fire horse and getting out of the corral and, galloping into the future. But in order to do that, you really got to slough off what isn't serving you. And if there's still some debris, it is time. Hey, Catherine, welcome. So, whoever's here, don't be shy. Let it be known. Tonight is going to be amazing. And so I don't want to waste another minute because I really want to get into this topic. So before I have her come on screen, I just want to tell you a little bit about Carolyn Nicholson Fowler. She is a Certified Medical Reiki Master, a Usui Reiki Master Teacher, Karuna Reiki Master, and she's the founder of the Peaceful Healing School and owner of Peaceful Healing Reiki. She is based out of Southwest Florida, but works with people all over the world. And we're going to talk about Reiki, but we're also going to talk about this important topic of getting rid of the negativity of person, places, things, and why that's needing to go so you do not carry that load. So let's welcome to the show, Carolyn Fowler. Yay, 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 yay. Well, there's a lot of people roaring. I'm roaring. I'm happy that you're here, and I should also say, to add to your big titles, that you were one of the co-authors in my book, which is our book, High Vibrational Wellness. A couple years ago, became an international bestseller, and still going strong all over the world. So I'm really good. You had a very powerful story. So welcome. How are you today?
I've had a great day. Thank you so much. It's been a weird day for you, I think, from what you said, but no,
not so much for me directly, but when I see, okay, I got an email, something didn't go so well, then a second one, then a third one, and then I'm sitting here just kind of holding space, and then a fifth one, and I'm thinking, okay, mother, what is that as a child? Henny penny, the sky is falling. I can't remember. It's something like that. But I was like, oh my God, what is going on today? So you started to say something offline. Do you care to share? You were saying something about the planetary alignments. We're a little in the focusfied. I know we're going into Mercury retrograde, but what were you going to share?
Well, I was saying, and I'm not an astrologer, so if I get this wrong, please forgive me.
Yes,
but,
please. It's okay.
I was told that, Saturn and Neptune are conjunct at 0 degrees Aries, and that happened Thursday, the 20th. That is the absolute beginning of the zodiac. And Aries is get her done energy.
Yes.
Neptune is about the shadow self. So I think it's going to get really interesting here worldwide.
Yeah, I'm Aries rising. I know all about that Aries energy. Get her done.
Yeah.
So let's talk about you. Let's talk about just briefly, because when I think of Reiki, Well, I think of you actually. When someone says Reiki, I'm like, oh, do you know Carolyn? Because she's got a gazillion different, masterships or whatever you called. And I actually studied pet Reiki with you a while back, if you recall. So maybe just give them a little bit, a little bit about yourself.
Okay.
On
Well,
the Reiki side, like just say, what do you do and why do you do it and what does it do for people?
I came to Reiki in 2009 at my son's hospital bedside. And his wife had a Reiki master come in to do Reiki with him. And I had never heard of it before. I had no idea what it was, but I understood that the intent was healing, and I was all about that. So she said, please picture the blue-green flames around him on the bed because those are the healing colors, and she's sending Reiki. And she had everybody close their eyes and kind of hold hands. Well, I'm a little rebel, so I had to peek. And I saw the energies moving around him in those colors. It was like the aurora borealis, very slow and gentle. It was beautiful. And I was shocked because I'd never seen anything like that before, but I was more intent on his healing. And he didn't heal. He passed away about 5 days after that. And after a few months of trying to cope with that grief, I finally remembered the Reiki master and said, I'm willing to try anything. I don't want to feel like this the rest of my life. In fact, I refuse. So she came and gave me a Reiki session for 15 minutes, and it changed my life. My grief roared out of me so hard, it felt like it was coming out of a jet engine. And when she was done, I sat up on the side of the table, and this iron band that had been around my chest had broken, and I could breathe. And you don't know how good it feels to breathe when you've been holding your breath for 3 months.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, I don't know what this is, but this is powerful. It's good, and I'm going to learn everything I can about it. And here I am 17 years later, and I'm still learning. I love it. So, and I am a former paramedic, so I bring a little medical knowledge to my Reiki. Plus, I graduated from Raven Key's Medical Reiki International. So it's fascinating.
Before we got on live, you were asking about your lighting. This isn't to like throw anything in, but don't worry. But your lighting is moving. And before I was waiting for you to finish, I was going to say the light around you is breathing. It's moving, it's pulsating, it's kind of going light, it's moving. It literally feels like there's a living, breathing energy of light around you. I don't know if anyone else is noticing that, but as you were talking, it was kind of like, I'm like, wow, she's just really moving the spirit around her.
I'm in my Reiki room, and this room is full of angels regularly, so I'm not surprised.
No, I love it. And I'd like to talk about what drew you to want to talk about cutting cords. I mean, the timing is absolutely perfect, and it's a very important topic, especially when we are wanting to move like a jet engine energies out that are holding us back from having the life we want, from having the mindset, from people who are not believing that we can be all that or holding us back, and they're watching us grow. I mean, there's a million reasons it's time to cut cords. We're living in generational patterns. I mean, there's so many things, but tell me a little bit about what draws you to want to do this as a practice and what you've seen and what we're going to do here tonight together.
Well, I think over the last few years, all of us have seen the energy of the world get heavier and denser. And I think a lot of the acting out that we see in the world is just happening because people don't know what to do with that negative energy that they collected just being in life, and they don't know how to shed it. Reiki will help you shed it. I help people shed it. But on a more personal level, I think all of us have, before we maybe got into energetic modalities, we would be with a friend. Okay. And this friend was kind of negative, but we liked him anyway. You know, we go home and say, I don't know why I'm so tired when I've been with this person. I'm exhausted and I don't feel up. I'm kind of depressed. And those are what we call energy vampires. And
Yes.
they will suck
Yes.
the life out of you. And I think a lot of people do this unconsciously. I don't think it's something that they know they're doing, but they are so desperate for some positive energy that they just, like you said, they want to be in your light, and it depletes you. So you've got to learn not only how to cut those cords to shed some of that negativity, you've got to learn how to shield.
I think that's so important. It's not only the negative people. I knew someone who was just so out loud and boisterous that she took up all the air in the room.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily a negative, speaking, but it was just it was never collaborative. It was never like conversational. It was just about me. But it was like, it was literally, I could see all the air in the room was being sucked in this space. And that's too exhausting, so there, it takes all kinds.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I don't think it's done maliciously. I think it's unconscious. So,
So how does that create a cord to you? Or does
you create an energetic cord with every person that you deal with. You can create an energetic cord with the butcher. You can create an energetic cord with your neighbor, who you may like or not, And every time, we were talking earlier about how the teenagers, when they hook up, they go through relationships like we change pants. So, and every time they break up with somebody, they're cutting a cord.
Yeah.
And if they don't, and nobody knows about this, that's not working in energy, which is a shame. This is one reason I want Reiki out into the public. Every time you cut a cord, it's like an open energetic wound. Okay. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of different energies out there that can get in and cause havoc. So I always ask the archangels, please, fill it with love and light and seal it up. The sealing of the cords is crucial, absolutely crucial. So
go ahead.
When I have somebody on the table, I don't do the cord cutting. And I'm sure, like Lainey and I were talking before, there are people out there who have such intuition and second sight. They can see the cords. They can actually cut the cords themselves. That to me is above my pay grade. I don't know which ones of those cords are dysfunctional for this person yet. I may learn. So I ask Archangel Michael to cut the dysfunctional cords. Mm-hmm. And then Archangel Raphael to fill them with light and love and seal them up.
I love that. I've been working with Archangel Michael my whole life and cutting cords. That's there's many different ceremonies. I was trained in the Violet Flame activation with Angela Aurora Medaway Smith. There's lots of ways to do it, but I feel you're such a gentle, loving healer, Carolyn, that just your intention alone, I believe the information is just going to come flowing through you as you continue doing what you do. The fact is that you're creating this beautiful sacred container for people to have healing. And the fact is that is so true. When we cut the cords, we're very much focused on snip, 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 cutting, releasing, clearing. But there is this law of the vacuum that's like you've cut space away and you've created a void. So how are we going to fill that up? And that's a really important piece. So is that what you are sharing, that we just fill it up with light in that once we've determined
Absolutely.
what
In
it
fact,
is.
I ask 5 archangels. I ask Michael, Raphael, Uriel, Gabriel, and Metatron to please fill all of those cut cords, because I cut the cords not only in this life, but in all past lives, all realms, realities, and dimensions. And that's a lot of cut cords. So I have 5 of them that are filling that with light, love, healing, peace, and joy. And then they get sealed. And that's what's inside now.
I am having this total download right now as I'm hearing you talk about what you do and how you do it with what we channeled in our book, Angelic Resonance, because there are foods related to those angels and there are days of the week. There are certain foods to eat. It would be so amazing to like kind of combine those teachings or share them, because you might even say, now that you've had this session, now I'd like you to ground in eating something with garlic or something with, mangoes with joy. But there's certain foods that the angels have blessed on certain days. Like if they came in on a Thursday or they came in on a Saturday and you saw predominantly Uriel, they have specific protocols with food that help ground the body.
Let's put together a workshop. We could absolutely do that. That sounds exciting to me.
Yeah. I mean, it just came in now as you're talking. I was visualizing you working on you working on someone. I was like, oh my God, they should just know, like, when people leave these cocoons that you work with people, it's like you're being in this, like a hug. Like, I feel like when they're with you, they're being all hugged emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually and physically. But then when they leave and they have to integrate at home, those are the sort of things. What do people, how long does it last when you do these treatments? Is it forever? I mean, or is it for days? Like, how does it work?
You can actually set a time for Reiki to work before you ground them. But if you don't, and I don't always, it works for 3 days. So they're detoxing for 3 days, which is another thing that you'd want to bring in food for. I ask them to drink a lot of water and to take an Epsom salt bath to ground.
Yes.
And so, yeah, all the good stuff's all around us. It has been our whole lives. We just didn't know how to use it.
I am the biggest fan of Epsom salt. I'm just a magnesium lover. And one of our Cloud9 Float Spa has a float spa, and it's literally laying in 1,000 pounds of magnesium. Can you imagine how good that is for the body? Well, you can, because you have a medical background. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you find your knowledge? How do you find the time period when you were a paramedic coming into your current talents and practice? Do you find that some of those situations or some of that time period or wisdom is playing a role, like kind of bridging spirit and science?
Very much so. It's the anatomy and physiology that I bring in. And I've brought in traditional Chinese medicine thought about which organs different emotions get stagnated in. And I found this to be very true. And for instance, I'll work on someone and I'll get to their left hip. And the left hip is lighting up for me. It's hot. And so I just file that away. And when we're done, I'm going to, as she's sitting and recovering, what's going on with your left hip? Well, one lady said, I tweaked it this morning when I was working out. I said, no, there's more there. And I knew that it was her left hip. So it was the feminine side of the body. And she had just started a new job. And I asked her, I said, is there a woman at work that you no longer feel supported by? Because hips are about support. Hips support your torso. So, and she went, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
She had started with this woman and was getting great training, and this woman was so supportive. And then this woman had something happen in her family and could no longer devote the amount of time that she had been to my client, and that was withdrawn quickly, and she did feel unsupported. So it's fascinating. It's just fascinating.
I love it. So before we close, I want to let the listeners or whoever watches this later, you teach one-on-ones, you teach classes, you teach other people to be Reiki practitioners. Tell us a little bit about kind of your queendom, Carolyn.
My
all the things that
queendom.
you offer. Your Reiki queendom.
Yes. Okay. So I teach Reiki level 1, which is Shoden. I teach Okuden, which is level 2, and Shinpiden Reiki Master Teacher. And I teach Karuna Reiki. I teach Animal Reiki. They're all great, and they're all very, very different. I have a master class starting Wednesday. Master classes are 4 or 5 days. It's intense, but they're going to be learning the Reiki precepts in Japanese. Which it's very simple, actually, very simple. But I want my Reiki masters to shine. I just want them to shine, and the ones that make it to master level are already in love with Reiki and the energy and how it feels to practice it and watch people feel better.
Can you do it on yourself? Or do
Absolutely.
I always wonder, because some people can't read for themselves. They need, and I find that it's really great to get another person's perspective. I just always wondered, do you do Reiki? I know Denise can do tapping on herself, and I tap on myself. I just wondered how it was for Reiki.
The thing about a Reiki session with me, and I teach the Japanese, is a lot of Japanese terminology, is you start like this, with you connect, you bring in the light. This is Hatsu Rei Ho. Hatsu is to bring in, Rei is divine, Ho is method. And then your arms go out to the sides and you claim the space. That's Hogo Suru, which is protection. Then you come up in Gasho and set your intention, and which must always be for the highest good only. And in this way, you are only bringing in the highest realm energy. You aren't just starting and whatever's around is going to join. You know what I mean? You have to energetic hygiene there.
We have Peg here too. She's also a tapping. We have a lot of tapping people here tonight.
Cool.
You had offered a special. Did you want to, if people want to work with you one-on-one or in your classes? I know you had mentioned that. So is there any special you'd like to offer to our whoever's listening?
If you mention this broadcast, you can get
Nourish Your Soul Show.
You can get a session for 25% off or 25% off a class. Okay. So, and then go to my website, peacefulhealingreiki.com. And it has distance Reiki, in-person Reiki. It has all the classes defined and priced. So, and on my website, you can use a credit card.
Before we leave, thank you for that. Can I pull a card for you?
Please.
And I'm going to pull a card for you, and then if anybody else wants to have any questions for Carolyn, be sure and ask her. We have got just a couple more minutes. Any particular question you have, Miss Carolyn? Or you want to just pull a card for your highest and best?
Oh, for my highest and best. There's so much swirling around right now, I can't light on one. Do you know what I mean?
All right. Well, I combined the first and second deck here. And the card I got for you, Miss Carolyn, is trust.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So do you like dates?
I love dates.
Yeah. They love you. This card, I just love it because it's got a mala bead and this old sort of Moroccan Turkish lamp going. But this is really a time for you to trust. everything you already have, even the things that you may doubt inside that you think that, oh, well, it's above my pay grade. I know you said that jokingly, but I do know that everything is being revealed and unlocked in perfect timing for you. And the right people are going to come in to either kind of give you a nudge, or your collaborators, or your angelic and ascended master collaborators. Just trust it's all revealing right now, and trust that everything will show up. You'll be able to handle everything and pace yourself, and trust your decisions. You're making really good ones.
Thank you.
Even though it might seem like a lot swirling, trust the process. Just as you tell your clients, like, do unto others as you would do unto you.
Yeah. That's good advice. I always forget myself, the old, we're at the end of the line, last on the list. And even Lee Harris said, this is the year of, we're not doing self-abandonment anymore.
That's right. And we can't, there's so many expressions about how and why, but the truth of it is that we have to even be more vigilant now as things ramp up energetically, of being more mindful of giving from that overflow, and giving from strength, and giving from empowerment. And if we're not feeling it, we need to look at what is causing that. Circling back to cutting cords from things, from people, from places, from situations that are making us feel less than being in our full sovereignty.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Clearing
no self-abandonment. Here, Catherine Guidi, here's this, Carolyn. I love that. No self-abandonment. And that's a big piece. And I think particularly for women too, and particularly for mothers and grandmothers, and being in this place where we're just giving and just extracting. Like we were just saying, you're so exhausted, and then somebody calls you, and then they're bringing stuff in. It's like, okay, like yesterday, I said to myself, I don't think I have anything to offer anybody but myself. I can't have any phone conversations. I literally went into silence yesterday. And you just need to do that. You need to find that opportunity for yourself.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, any last words, Carolyn, you want to share with our audience? Any words of advice or inspiration?
Woo. Do what I'm learning how to do, and learn to love yourself. Do for yourself what you do for all your clients. Accept yourself like you do your clients. That's a tough one for me. I'm still learning that one. I'm a work in progress for sure, but it's so good when you hit that sweet spot and you're like, oh, I count.
You matter. That's what I always say. You matter. Mm-hmm. And boy, do you matter, because without you, there's such a ripple effect. So make sure you're always watching out for yourself. Carolyn, thank you for being here. Thank you for being in high vibrational wellness back in the day. Thanks for always hearing the call to show up and step in and remind, I don't think this card was just for you. I am certain it was for many of us to trust. And oh my goodness, just segue over here. I'm looking at the other card that was sitting with it. And it was truth. Bok choy. So being your truth and trust, I think that's really important. And I think that goes along the lines of when we are in our truth and we are trusting, that's when it's time to cut the cord, because self-abandonment is playing a role here. So yeah. Thank you.
I have a student now who says she's in the sacred year of no. So she's saying no to stuff. She's taken time out for herself, which is perfect.
I love that. And Denise, I think you and Carolyn need to get together. We need to talk food. I think there's a lot to be said here. A very important piece here is when we cut these cords and we come into a state of peaceful Reiki with Carolyn, Now, how are we going to sustain that nutrition and that wellness and that vibration of high frequency? It's knowing how to nourish the body temple. There's definitely some synergy here. Thank you. And thank you, everyone. Thank you. And be sure and share this far and wide. I feel very peaceful. Again, I have your website here, peacefulhealingreiki.com. Have a good night, everyone.